Good morning, everyone. This is Will here at 5 Minute Digital Recording Tips, and greetings from a wild and windy and wet Ireland. I'm working on a piece of music right now in the style of Justice, the French electronic duo, and I'm trying to set up a sidechain compressor to make my bass line pump in in a style that you hear quite a lot in electronic music. So what I've done here, if we take a quick look now, is I have a simple 4-bar bass line programmed using Analog Laboratory, and if we have a quick listen, we can hear the bass line. Okay, fairly basic line, nothing too special about that. Now, what I want to do is I want to set up a compressor on this bass and have a kick drum actually drive the compressor to make the bass pump and really lock in with the bass drum. So in order to do this, what I have done here is I have set up a triggered kick and a trigger aux. Okay, so an aux channel and just a regular, in this case, an instrument channel. On the instrument channel, I have set up an instance of Maschine, and I have programmed in just 4 kick drums, 1 bar. Okay, now on the sends of this particular channel, I have sent this signal to my aux track. Now the reason I do this is that I can put this fader in pre-fader, which means that I can mute the actual signal from the kick drum so I don't hear it, but yet it's still triggering my compressor. And this is important if you want to, for instance, drop out the bass drum at some point. You can't do that unless you do it this way, because once you drop the kick drum out, it'll stop driving the compressor and your bass sound will change. So you just create another track down here with your actual kick drum on it, and that way you can adjust this in any way, shape or form you want to without worrying about it bothering the compressor. So anyway, moving along. The next step, once you have these 2 tracks set up, is to actually open up a compressor on your bassline channel. So we go to Dynamics in Pro Tools here, and I've actually been using this R compressor, which I quite like, and I was toying with a setting this morning which is kind of in the ballpark of what I'm looking for. So here we have in the top left hand corner of this plugin, we have a function called key input, and the key input is essentially the sidechain. This tells you, or this tells the software, where the signal is coming from that is going to drive the compressor. So in this case, I want the signal to come from this trigger aux here, and the output of it is trigger, or is drum trigger. So if I go to my key input and go to buses, I should be able to find drum trigger. There it is. Okay, so now this kick drum, even though it's muted, is driving this compressor. And if we have a quick listen to the music, we should hopefully hear that. Let's have a listen. Okay, you can hear that pumping quality already. Now we can toy with all these settings. I have the attack down as far as it will go. If there's too much click in the bass drum, you can just, or in the bass guitar, you can just move that up a little. Okay, and the release is the one that will kind of give it that sort of bouncing, bubbling quality. You know, it's too much there. It's too quick there. So where I had it, I like where it was actually. And then the ratio will give you the amount of pump. So if you hear it without it for 1 second again, if I bypass this, kind of flat sounding with the pump. So if we drop in our actual kick drum now, we can really hear how this is locking in with the beat. Okay, that sounds good. Now, one other thing that I've done in this particular track, you don't have to do this, but I've created another aux channel, and I've called it Delay Aux, and I've opened up an Echo Boy here with a little bottom fuzz on it, and I have also compressed this with the same setting. So now if I drop this in, it should really almost give that pumping another level of kind of rhythm to add to what we already have. So let's have a quick listen here. So you can hear the delays in the background really pumping. You can bring that up. it's all about experimenting. Once you have your channel set up with the trigger kick and the aux and making sure this is in pre-fader, you can just play with the settings and just, until you get to a point where you have something that you're really digging. So there you have a fairly straightforward way to sidechain compress your bass line. Hope it was helpful. This has been Will, and you've been listening to 5 Minute Digital Recording Tips.